Blackbeard is hunting the strongest devil fruits to give them to his crewmates. Which one will Doc Q get? There are a lot of options, but considering that he had the highest bounty in the Blackbeard crew pre-timeskip, this doctor might already be packing a dangerous power.
Hey, nigga better turn me. Nigga better turn me. Nigga better turn me.
Hey everyone, Golden Boy here, back on my Strawhat 1v1 grind, and today we have Chopper. Obviously I think Chopper's gonna fight Doc Q, but the interesting note for this fight will be what it looks like and what their powers will be. So let's just get started. Born on the Winter Drum Island, Tony Chopper is a talking reindeer due to his human devil fruit. Deserted by both nature and humanity, our blue-nosed freak of nature was left alone for a long time until Dr. Hiraluk took him in and inspired him to study medicine to cure all diseases of the world. When the Straw Hats came in and defeated Wapple, Chopper was invited onto the crew where he was accepted by his first real friends. Notable feats of our Doctor include teaming up with Usopp to defeat Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas, going literal beast mode and bullying on the entire island of Enies Lobby. Defending his friends and the medical field, Chopper stood up against the likes of Hogback, Caesar Clown, and even Queen, smacking down the ladder with a giant, tremendous hoof. He bitch slapped a dinosaur. You can't do much better than that. Chopper's ultimate dream is to become a doctor so great that he can cure all diseases in the world. Heavily inspired by Hiraluk's cherry blossoms, one has to wonder if that's going to happen right now in Wano. We've already seen him counter an ice virus, so maybe Chopper is going to showcase some breakthrough medical research. And a few fun facts about our reindeer. I was always curious about his name, but he's named Tony Chopper because the Japanese word for reindeer is tonakai, and Oda remarked on how he thought that his antlers looked like they could chop down trees. That's what Hiraluk said too. So, a potential inspiration for our doctor is also obviously going to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because Chopper has a blue nose. And Chopper's birthday is even Christmas Eve, so that's very fitting. Now, as far as Chopper's battle capabilities, I think he's going to officially awaken his devil fruit, which might mean that he has full control over Monster Point, like he does with all of his other points. No time limit. It would also be really cool to see Chopper partially control his features, like how Sasaki does that with his Triceracopter form. I can't say Triceracopter. Maybe he'll be able to spawn his antlers all over his body, like armor, or like, knives almost. He could be like a super spiky Sonic the Hedgehog type attack. And the biggest thing that we really need to see from Chopper is his ability to stay in Monster Point for much longer. Now in Wano, he's able to do it for 30 minutes, so that's a good start, but I think that he's going to need even more. Maybe some armament hockey would be nice too. And if we want to go crazy, which we totally do, how awesome would it be if we could teach Chopper Electro, like the Minx? And, get this, even have a Sulong Chopper. Could you imagine Sulong Chopper? Oh my god, that would be beautiful. But that's enough on Chopper. Let's talk Doc Q. So hailing from the North Blue, the mysterious and sinister doctor of the Blackbeard Pirates is known as the Grim Reaper Doc Q. Accompanied by his horse, Stronger, which is kind of funny because his horse looks stronger than he is, Doc Q is sickly. He's always being carried by the steed. He explains that he was born chronically ill, but his medical and chemistry skills are said to be top-notch. In fact, it's speculated that he might be quite the threat because of the original 5 members of the Blackbeard crew, Doc Q had the highest bounty, 72 million berries. Not much is known about his dreams. In fact, Doc Q actually seems to be a big believer in destiny, if anything. But he is seen giving exploding apples to innocent commoners in Jaya, so this is a bad man for sure. Fun fact, it's speculated that Doc Q is the 4th horseman of the apocalypse, Death, from the Book of Revelation in Christianity. He is sickly, he wields a scythe, he's like the Grim Reaper. And it's said that before the second coming of Jesus Christ, or the dawn of the new world, the earth will be pillaged by 4 horsemen, bringing apocalypse. Pestilence, war, famine, and then ultimately death. The 4th horseman of the apocalypse brings the downfall of the earth. Death, the 4th horseman, is written to eliminate 25% of the global population through disease, so it'll be interesting to see how Oda chooses to portray this sort of power. Maybe it'll be a devil fruit, I'd guess. My best guess for Doc Q's Devil Fruit is going to be probably something like poison. I could see him get the Venom Fruit from Magellan, and I have two main arguments for it. Number one, we know that Doc Q is into his trickery when he was giving those explosive apples. Poison just kind of would fit with that trickery type of toolkits, and it'd also be associated with the fourth horseman of death. That's a link to the poison would be the disease. And my number two argument is that Venom Fruit is called the Doku Doku no Mi. I'll say it again, the Doku Doku no Mi. Doku Doc Q. It just seems like a fun little pun, and I don't know if Oda would be able to help himself. I don't think he could let a pun like that, I don't know if he could pass that up, because he likes doing stuff like this. Whitebeard's laugh was Gura ha 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 ha. It had Gura in it, just like his devil fruits. Kaido's Uro ro 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 has Uo in it, which is the name of his devil fruit. So Oda likes to sort of give us hints with some of the language that he uses, which is why I love speculating in One Piece, because he wants us to do it. Also, I would love for Doc Q's horse Stronger to also get a devil fruit. Maybe it would get bat wings or something creepy. Now, looking at the Venom Fruit, an underutilized fruit that could kind of complement the look of Doc Q would be Treble's Beta Beta Fruit, like that snot mucus fruit. I hate Treble. Ugh. But it'd be funny to have the doctor be, this venomous man, and then the horse is just a glob of snot. So that would be a fun matchup for the two of them. Another potential devil fruit would be like a Blood Logia, which would also be fitting as a doctor. Perhaps as a bloodbender, he'd be able to make and become blood, and it would increase his defense, especially if Chopper doesn't have Haki. Maybe another thing he could do is increase or decrease his blood oxygen levels, and he could optimize his body, he could speed things up. It's sort of like Luffy's Gear Second, and also how Chopper uses his different points. He's going to optimize his body. So that could be a fun one-to-one matchup too. But regardless, Doc Q will be dangerous, and I think he's going to have a dangerous fruit. Now honestly, we don't really need them to have really strong Haki, because I think it's going to be sort of a fight about medical expertise. It should be a really cool fight, especially because Chopper doesn't really get too many fights. I think this fight is a lock. That's why I think these two are going to fight. It's a lock. Of course they're going to fight. Chopper has always stood up to those that tarnish the medical field. And I'm interested to see if Doc Q is somehow related to Hero Look, because they look very similar. They are both doctors. They specialize in chemistry, and they make the human body explode. Doc Q gave out apples, and Hero Look just is a quack doctor, and sometimes his medicine would kill people. Oops. Even if he's not tied to Dr. Hero Look, Doc Q versus Chopper will still make sense, because Doc Q represents, death and hopelessness, relying on fate, while Chopper believes that he can cure every disease, and he makes his own fate. He's not a big fighter. In fact, Chopper only seems to get fired up whenever somebody disrespects and abuses the medical field. And Doc Q is a dirty player, so I bet he's going to do something to disrespect the medical field. Like we've seen in Wano with Queen, maybe we'll see it with Doc Q. I bet he's going to poison some civilians, or do something to get on Chopper's nerves. So how could Oda draw this battle? Like I said, I think Doc Q is going to be using poison or diseases similar to how Queen does, and it could be a race. What if there's one cure and Doc Q puts them in a room and he poisons both of them, and he says whoever wins is the one that's going to be getting the cure. He could totally do something like that, and that'd be high stakes. It would be cool to put Chopper in some sort of situation where he doesn't need to heal himself before the time limit though, but he does need to defeat Doc Q to get that antidote. And it would be cool if that antidote would be, there's only one antidote, and Chopper has to decide whether to take it for himself or heal the innocent civilians too. And it would sort of be like the trolley car question. Do you pull the lever and save one man to kill the other two? Those sorts of maniacal mind tricks and these horrible experiments is sort of what gives you the highest bounty on a crew. Doc Q is probably a really messed up person. He's probably a sick individual, and I think he's going to have a great fight. I can't wait to see if he has that Doku Doku no Mi, that Venom fruit. Regardless of what fruit he has, I think it's going to be a really, really impressive fight. But let me know your thoughts below. I'm heading to a friend's wedding this weekend, so be sure to enjoy your weekend early. So have a blast. And remember, stay golden. Thanks for watching.